Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Wednesday, December 8th. The Barbados Association of Retired Persons underwent some major constitutional changes this week, which have altered the administration of the organization, allowing people to join from the age of 40. President of the organization, Marilyn Rice-Bowen, says they've realized the intergenerational support is necessary to get more things done. She joins us now on Morning Report to discuss the resolutions which were passed in the interest of improving the organization. Good morning to you, Ms. Rice-Bowen.
Good morning, Wendy, and thank you so much for inviting me on the program this morning.
Always a pleasure to hear you. Now, quickly outline for us what are some of the major changes which were made to your constitution.
The major change, there were three or four resolutions, but the major one was the joining age. And the joining age was lowered from 50 to age 40. And one might wonder, one might wonder why 40, why as low as 40. But our experience has been that when persons join BARP at 50, sometimes 50 plus, they seek assistance with retirement planning. And at that stage of their lives, it's usually too late to commence a retirement plan. If there's one in place that needs to be enhanced, we could offer them the advice, where to go to get the advice. However, it's usually too late. And if we are serious about ensuring that our seniors can live comfortable lives at retirement, comfortable financial lives at their retirement, so therefore it was necessary to lower the age, thus allowing the 40-year-olds to access the retirement tools that they would need to thus ensuring that at their retirement, which could be 27, maybe 28 years away, that they would be in a sound financial position. In addition, Wendy, we also recognize that some of the 40 plus, particularly the self-employed professionals, they don't have access to group health insurance. As a BARP member, they will have access to the group health plan. And also they would, through their contribution to the group health plan, they would help to ensure that the existing plan, which is aging, will be sustainable.
Okay. Now, you said there were two others that you would have changed up within the Constitution?
Yes. We also, the quorum was revised as well, because our quorum prior to the revision was 200 persons, and that proved a little burdensome. So it has now been reduced to 100. And we also put in place the provision for virtual and hybrid meetings. That was not allowed before. And then we also changed the title of our executive manager. We changed from executive manager to that of chief executive officer. But as I said, the major change was indeed the joining age. And Wendy, I would want to say at this point as well that the intergenerational mix that will now occur, it will be a deeper mix at BARP, will also help to strengthen the movement, strengthen the relationships between seniors and the younger ones, and also it would cause us to, I wouldn't want to use the word revolutionize, but it would bring us a fresh approach to how we do business as well. But our seniors will not be left out, because, as I said, it is an intergenerational mix. We are strengthening that mix, and through strengthening that mix, we'll demonstrate to Barbados that young, middle-aged, seniors and seniors can coexist, in
Okay.
harmony.
Now, you had mentioned that a lot of the young professionals aren't able to access um, the medical plans and the policies, etc. Um, in terms of the joining now, how much easier are you going to be able to make the process for them? How strong is the plan that you already have in place?
Okay, the plan we have in place is a very strong medical plan. It covers persons or members not only for local visits, but in the event that they have to be airlifted, one can also be airlifted. With reference to the offer to the 40-year-olds, that is being worked on as we speak, because we could not have been presumptuous and proceed with planning until the resolution was passed, and it was only passed on Monday. But we are confident that our insurers will make the product attractive enough for the 40 plus.
Okay.
So they can derive some comfort knowing that something an insurance product will come their way that will be strong and accessible. That's
Okay.
what's most important, because there are still too many people out there without coverage, health coverage in particular.
Okay, now during the COVID pandemic, it's been very challenging for you to meet and discuss things within your organization, even in terms of you prompting them to get vaccinated, etc. But I understand you've also done a little something that will allow you to do a hybrid in relation to how you meet your membership.
Yes, that has been changed, and that was further strengthened when the Corporate Miscellaneous Act 2021-19 was amended, which allowed organizations and businesses to hold virtual AGMs. Before that was in place, we couldn't have done it. And Wendy, I also want to say here that we also prepared our members through Zoom workshops. We held some Zoom workshops prior to the AGM, and we will continue with our Zoom workshops, because that is where we meet our members now, on Zoom.
Okay. Well, here's hoping that all that has been put in place augurs well for everyone involved. What are we like right now, finally, in terms of our membership numbers, and how are you hoping that this lowering to 40 will boost?
Okay, our current membership is 22,000, just a bit past 22,000. The numbers of 40-year-olds, 40 plus, there are about 44,000 40 plus persons on the island. We don't anticipate all of them, but we do expect to get a sizable number, you know. So we are looking, BARP's membership certainly should be boosted the admission of the 40 plus, by the admission of the 40 plus, and we do look forward to welcoming them. But we will make the announcement when we are ready, because, as I said, some paperwork has to be done. So that will be early in the new year.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it. I myself might be joining now. Thank you so
Now,
much,
Mike
Marlon
should.
Rice-Buitt, for joining us this morning on Morning Report. Do have a wonderful morning.
Likewise, and have a happy day to you.
Next on Morning Report, updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. Barbados has recorded 106 new COVID-19 positive cases. This after the Abesto Santos Public Health Laboratory conducted 1,218 tests on Monday. 47 were men and 59 women. The new cases included 14 people who were under the age of 18. Officials say people in isolation facilities numbered 303, while 2,084 are in home isolation. Under the national COVID-19 vaccination campaign, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,081. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated is 138,416. Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Health, Terence Dale Singh, says he has noticed a slight plateau in the number of COVID-19 cases at the intensive care unit. During the COVID-19 health update, Minister Dale Singh said the ministry has decided to expand its step-down facilities to transition patients from the high dependency and intensive care units.
We had initially 188 beds. Over the next, and we have started to increase it. It is going to be increased by an additional 154. So we are going to take our step-down facilities up to 342 from 188.
Minister Dayal Singh said the step-down facilities also provide some level of oxygen support, adding that 115 additional oxygen concentrators will be distributed among the 5 regional health authorities.
Eastern RHA got 20. North Central got an additional 15, but they already had a lot of capacity. Northwest got an additional 15. Southwest got 35, and Tobago got 30.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is hailing government's efforts in mitigating the spread of COVID-19 as a success. However, he maintains that this success is no reason to be complacent, as variables such as the Omicron variant and a languishing health sector remain causes for concern.
Speaking before a meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers on Monday, the Prime Minister commended St. Lucians for adhering to the protocols.
The situation regarding the COVID is good. For now, I want to commend the people of St. Lucia. And when the government took a position that you would make people responsible for their own actions, we were criticized. But for now, the rate of positivity is below 5%. It's been so for the last week. It's because the people of St. Lucia have understood that they have to follow the protocols. I want to commend them. Some of them have not been following it, but I want to commend them for what they've been doing. The majority of people have been following the protocols, and it shows itself in the numbers.
Prime Minister Pierre asserts that the results so far are impressive. However, he maintains that the current situation should not be taken for granted, as things can change instantly, given variables such as the Omicron variant and an influx of arrivals during the holiday season.
But the season is coming. Many St. Lucians want to come home for Christmas. We invite them, but we tell them, please, our health care services we hope, and we cannot have a 5th wave. We hope there's not a 5th wave. I visited the hospital on Friday. Again, I was very happy. I want to commend the staff of the hospital. But people must be responsible. And the government's policies, as far as COVID was concerned, when we said that we would stop arresting people, although the power was there, but we would give people tickets, give them a sense of responsibility. We were criticized, but for now, that is working.
The Prime Minister laments that with the languishing state of the island's healthcare institutions, we must do everything to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, as he urges St. Lucians to get vaccinated.
The World Health Organization is warning against mandatory vaccinations unless all other options have been exhausted. Dr. Hans Klug, the Europe director of the WHO, told a media conference yesterday that vaccinations should not be made mandatory if you haven't reached out first to the communities.
Mandates around vaccination are an absolute last resort and only applicable when all other feasible options to improve vaccination uptake have been exhausted. They have proven effective in some environments to increase vaccine uptake. but the effectiveness of mandates is very context-specific. Mandates must be supported by appropriate policy considerations, a comprehensive implementation plan, including provisions for exemptions, and a strong communication component for the population.
There are more travel restrictions being announced in the United Kingdom in response to the new Omicron variant.
People travelling there will need to show a negative test result within 48 hours before their flight. Now, the UK government has already banned travel to and from several countries in southern Africa. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told his cabinet the Omicron variant appears to be more transmissible than Delta. Andrew Simmons has more from London's Gatwick Airport.
The restrictions on travel have been met with a sort of mood of reluctant acceptance by many. Within 2 days, compulsory COVID tests to come into the country, and also a COVID test within 2 days of leaving the country. So this is an acceptance, as I say. Nigeria, a West African state, has been added to the red list on the travel ban, which already includes 10 other states. They're in southern Africa. There's a lot of controversy about Nigeria having this restriction placed upon it. But really, the issue that's on people's minds more than anything else is the level of the restrictions in the UK. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, said at Tuesday's cabinet meeting that early indications are that Omicron variant is more transmissible than the Delta variant. Now, that may not be massively new, but the real concerns are whether this Omicron variant will cause some evasion on immunity, and also whether or not it's more dangerous, whether it will make people even more sick than they would be anyway with COVID-19. And the infection rate is of great concern. Our latest estimate suggests that it's doubling every 3 days.
Well, it's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. And we welcome Pearson Thrasius Buin.
That is not a name.
Yes, it is.
Really?
It's Greek. And
Okay.
it has a meaning. So depending on what you call me now, I might share it with you.
Okay, great. So I imagine myself holding you as this little baby in my arms and thinking, let's call this child Tallulah Theodora.
Tallulah.
Tallulah Theodora, yes.
Theodora's, I know.
Tallulah
but
Theodora.
Tallulah. And you see, and your name really is fitting this morning because
Tell me.
Thrasius means bold. You have to be more than bold, Pearson, to dare say that to me on national TV.
Yes. Tallulah Theodora, good morning to you. Indeed. Oh, what a morning. Listen, folks, coming up this morning at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados, we'll be meeting Abejan Afar. She's an associate professor of pharmacy practice, and so we want to hear her story and glory in her journey thus far. We will also be meeting the most outstanding parish ambassadors and attendant of the year. And of course, you know they hail from the parish of St. Lucy. So look out for that opportunity as well, as we too bask in their success. And speaking of success, we'll be digging into a manager's first aid kit because we've just got past managing self. Now we're headed into managing others. And the first thing we want to look at is building trust and building relationships. So very vital indeed as it comes to managing others. So those are some of the things we'll be addressing this morning right here on Morning Barbados from 6:30. Back to you, Tallulah Theodora.
Yes, I'm anxiously awaiting to hear about the management. Let me manage you better with these names on mornings. Well, thank you very much, Pearson. We'll see you a little later in the hour. We'll take a break now and return with more news. Agriculture Minister Indar Ware believes Barbados has a problem with credit cards, and he wants to see measures taken to address their uncontrolled fees and interest rates. He made the point during his contribution to yesterday's debate on the Fair Credit Report bill.
And whenever you have customers being penalized the way they're being penalized with late payment fees, they are carrying the cost of the bank's or financial institution risk. And Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that the time has come where credit cards should be reviewed, the use of credit cards, the entire mechanism, the structure needs reviewing.
And Minister in the Ministry of Foreign Trade, Sandra Husbands, supports the move to provide individuals with annual credit reports in accordance with the Fair Credit Reporting Bill. She says it's an important step.
Having a yearly free report also allows people to have an opportunity to see how they're being viewed in the public space and to do whatever is necessary to work towards improving their credit rating so that they can continue to do business, so that they can continue with their lives. Why? Because most activities that are of great significance really requires people to have access to credit. And therefore, anything that prevents you from accessing credit will shut you out from expansion of your business, getting a mortgage, getting a car.
U.S. President Joe Biden has warned his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, against any military escalation with Ukraine, as the two leaders held direct talks amid weeks of rising tensions over Russia's military buildup near the Ukrainian border. In a statement after the call, the White House said Biden voiced the deep concern of the United States and its European allies about Russia's escalation of forces surrounding Ukraine and made clear they would respond with strong economic and other measures in the event of military escalation. For his part, President Putin presented the U.S. president with a demand for legally binding security guarantees that would rule out the expansion of NATO.
Good to see you again.
The Kremlin says their video call was frank and professional, but insisted tensions over Ukraine were not all Vladimir Putin's fault. The US and its allies are worried Russia plans to invade its neighbour after massing tens of thousands of troops near the border. Russia denies any such plans and describes the accusations as hysteria. Ukraine says it supports Biden's call for Putin to return to diplomacy and ensure a de-escalation on their border. Let's get more from our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett, who was in that briefing. So tell us the flavour of what was discussed there.
Yeah, well, to give you a sense of the tone and tenor, it was repeated several times by the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, that this was a conversation between two presidents, the U.S. and the Russian leader, that was a dialogue, a back and forth, if you will. In fact, Jake Sullivan making a point of saying that there were no speeches, there was no finger wagging or lecturing by one side or the other, but instead, Vladimir Putin was very engaged. Now, the conversation was direct in terms of the message that the U.S. president had to deliver in coordination with France and Germany, as well as the UK and Italy. There have been discussions, and it has been decided that should there be an invasion by Russia into Ukraine, that there would be strong and punitive financial sanctions that would be levied on Russia. Now, in terms of specificity, there wasn't a lot of detail about what that might look like, but there was also another path that was strongly encouraged by the U.S. president, and that is the one of diplomacy, essentially saying that there is the ability to have a conversation and to talk about larger strategic issues, and that this could be done through some mechanisms such as NATO. This could also be done in terms of furthering the Minsk agreement.
Bernard Smith has more on what Moscow is saying about the call.
Vladimir Putin told Joe Biden that responsibility should not be shifted to Russia because NATO is making dangerous attempts to take control of Ukraine. Pretty much everything that has been telegraphed about the meeting between Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin, what they were going to talk about, it's clear that they touched on these topics, not just Ukraine, but also cybercrime. Both parties, we're told, discussed their readiness to continue practical cooperation on combating cybercrime, but it was Ukraine that dominated the meeting. Vladimir Putin also told Joe Biden that he wanted guarantees that offensive strike systems would not be deployed in countries close to Russia. He says that NATO is building up its military infrastructure near Russia's borders. And Vladimir Putin says he expressed concerns about Kiev's allegedly provocative actions towards Ukrainian regions controlled by Russian-backed separatists. The Kremlin considers what's going on in Ukraine as an internal problem, and he does not want NATO to get involved ultimately in what is happening in Ukraine, and he wants assurances, we don't know if he's got those yet, from the Biden administration, that NATO will not trespass, will not encroach further east into Europe.
In sports, the inclusion of 5 Barbadians in the recently announced West Indies squad for next month's ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup to be played here in the West Indies is proof the local junior program is bearing fruit. Chairman of the Barbados Cricket Association's Youth Selection Panel, Elvis Howard, who was speaking on this week's In Swing radio cricket talk show at 94.7 FM, said he's delighted that the best of this island's players have been selected to the regional team.
Just happy for all the guys that would have made the team, and just hope that they can go on to do well. I hope that not only in terms of the under-19, but holistically, it will be a good learning exercise for the guys. And obviously, it's a great honor to represent the West Indies at such a tender age. From the Barbados perspective, we are happy that we continue to produce players at the West Indies on the 19 level. In fact, this is now the second consecutive World Cup that we have produced 4 Bajans in the side. But having said that, we don't only want to produce the Barbados players, we also want the players to justify their selections and to do well on the whole.
A major concern still surrounds the lack of continuity between playing at the youth level and graduating to the senior West Indies team. Howard says from the Barbados perspective, they have systems in place to ensure players continue in the game and hope at the regional level this can be replicated. And the West Indies Rising Stars under-19s have been drawn in Group D alongside Australia, Scotland and Sri Lanka, with Australia their first assignment. The ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup will be played from January 14th to February 5th. Matches will be played in Antigua and Barbuda, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Guyana. It's time now to take a look at our weather picture. Barbados right now. The temperature is 26.2 degrees Celsius and it's fair, however it feels like 29%. The humidity 89% with the barometric pressure at 1012.4 millibars. The winds are from the east at 26 kilometers per hour. Low tide will be at 11:39 a.m. and the first high tide at 7:23 a.m. and the second at 6:49 p.m. The seas are moderate in open water with swells ranging from 2 to 2.5 meters and steady. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution. The forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional brief scattered light showers. Tonight, it will be a mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. And here's now a look at our international cities. Our next scheduled newscast will be at noon. And we're at the end of Morning Report. I'm Wendy Burke. I now turn you back over to Pearson Thracius Bowen for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning.
Indeed, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, December the 8th, 2021. I am Pearson Bowen. Thanks to Wendy, Tallulah, Theodora Burke for passing you over to me this morning. Great having you company. To those of you here in Barbados and to those of you across the globe as well watching via our YouTube channel or on our Facebook stream. Mornin Barbados on Facebook is available to you. Just like our page, we post everything we do there so you can see it for yourself. So do thank you for joining us today. Today, we'll give you two opportunities to win. Two opportunities to win in our Christmas promotion. So get your phones ready, charge your cell phones if you have to do so, and be ready when we call so that you are answering when we call and you're answering correctly for a chance to win today. Two chances. We're also going to be speaking today with the marketing representative from Amaze. Amaze is going to be having another big anniversary sale, and we want to find out what's going to be on sale and how else will that celebration be unfolding so that we can all be a part of it. So stand by for that as well. But let's get started by heading somewhere in the world today to meet a Bajan afar. We're actually heading to the United States, as a matter of fact, to meet up with this Bajan, Dr. Alana Whitaker. Good morning to you, Dr. Whitaker.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, where in that big able United States are you?
I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Nevada, in a city called Henderson, right outside Las Vegas.
Oh dear, you are in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I don't even know what to ask you because you want to keep it to yourself. But Vegas in itself is such a warm city, isn't it?
Well, I think that's a misconception. It's warm compared to other places, but about now, I mean, we have highs in the 50s. We can get highs in the 40s. So it can get cold like
anywhere else.
February.
Okay.
Not as cold as New York, but it's not like Florida warm.
Yes. Naturally, those watching this morning say, but Alana, what are you doing over there? How did you get there in the first place?
Well, after I was finished with residency and I was looking for a job, my number one criteria was somewhere which wasn't too cold. So when I was interviewing for jobs, I looked for somewhere, and Nevada is not as cold as some of the other places I could have ended up.
So temperature was a strong consideration, one. And then
number one, the number one.
Finding that place to just be your best self. You are the Associate Professor of Pharmacy Practice at Roseman University of Health. What does that entail? What you do, what does that entail?
So as a practice faculty, I am hired by the university, but I have a practice site at one of the local hospitals, Valley Hospital. So I run with an internal medicine team. So on my team, I have medical students and medical resident. Sometimes I have a pharmacy resident, and I take students on rotation with me. So we sit down in rounds and we discuss patients and come up with the best plan for patients. In addition to my regular school duties, I end up spending more time at the hospital than on campus.
How many years has it been now that you've been there in the United States?
Oh, I've been in the States 21 years.
You left here as a little girl, literally as a little girl.
Oh, thank you very much.
Listen, I was a part of the setting up of your call earlier today, so I know your age. Be very careful.
So I don't care. I tell people my age.
All right, that's right. Accept it for what it is. I do too.
That's right.
How has it been, though, settling in? You know, you come from our culture and you're settling into their culture. That transition, how was that for you?
It wasn't too bad. Like, I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., which is it's a historically black college. So which has a lot of West Indians and a lot of people from Africa. So that was a good, I think, mid-ground. So I was able to acclimatize to the American culture, but also see people that look like me.
Oh, that's very important, to see others who look like you. But when they see you that look like them, and then they hear a bit of your accent, and they ask, where are you from? And you say?
Well, I say Barbados. I will say having Rihanna be as big as she has been has totally revolutionized that question. Because normally when I speak, people would be like, "Oh, are you from Jamaica?" Because that's what most people associate with the Caribbean.
Caribbean,
But now when I say, "Oh, I'm from Barbados," they're like, "Oh, the place where Rihanna is from." I'm like, "Yes, the place where Rihanna is from."
Oh boy, that's so important indeed. So, in terms of adjusting your eating habits and the like, how have you been able to acclimatize so that less than spicy taste that we know here in Barbados?
Oh, I bring seasoning from home.
Smart girl.
Hot pepper sauce. So I cook a lot. So I cooked up to Sunday. I made black eyed peas and rice and stewed chicken. So, oh yeah. No, I still cook predominantly West Indian food for
Great.
myself.
That is fantastic. And in terms of Christmas and celebrations of that season, is it any different from how we do it here?
Well, I have actually spent most of my Christmases in Barbados. So I normally come home and spend it with my family because I came up to school, but the rest of my family was in Barbados. So, but here it's pretty similar. Like, it's huge. They start celebrating Christmas even earlier. Like August, you go into the stores, you see Christmas decorations. It's kind of crazy, but even in Barbados, compared to when I was a kid, I think you'll start celebrating Christmas earlier because growing up, I was like, nothing happened until December 1st.
That is
Like,
correct.
you heard no Christmas music until after independence was done. But being home earlier in the year, like November last year, like I heard some Christmas music in
Yes.
November and I saw stuff up. So I was like, Barbados has changed in that respect too.
You've just seen us transition, though, November 30th to becoming a parliamentary republic. We have now a president of Barbados.
Yes.
Sitting where you sit there in the United States and viewing it, what did you think of those changes?
Oh, I think they were long overdue. I watched the ceremony on television. It was actually interesting because I had so many people at work come up to me. It was such a big deal within the United States. Like, they were like, "Oh, Barbados is becoming a republic," and I had some people ask me like what that means.
Yes.
I think it's important that we are fully independent, and it was watching it on TV. It was an emotional experience. Obviously, I was not around when we became independent,
Right.
so that was my moment.
And there you are, to be able to bask in that reality that Barbados has come of age, so to speak. Now, we are a republic and we have the president in Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason. So, now, couple questions I want to ask you. You said were you home last year for Christmas?
I was.
Are you going to be home this year for Christmas?
No, I think I will come earlier in the new year when I can spend a little bit more time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this Christmas I won't be home, but that's just because how time works out.
Maybe next time around, right? When you come home,
Oh, maybe next time around.
when you come home, where usually is the first place you go once you're home? That place that says, "I want to connect immediately."
I don't know, like I normally like just go home. By the time I get to Barbados, I'm normally so tired I like to sleep. But how I normally feel like home is going to Chefette.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. So, what is it from Chefette that you would go to get to feel like home?
Oh, a roasted chicken breast sandwich. Yes.
Good choice. Excellent choice indeed. That makes one feel like home indeed. You know, someone wrote on social media just the other day, I thought it was such an interesting comment. They said, you know, that one place in Barbados that has a chokehold on Barbados, someone wrote Chefette. You know, it's nowhere else. It is Chefette. It's my immense pleasure meeting you this one. Is there anyone here from Barbados who's watching today that you want to say hi to?
Yeah, well, I want to say hi to my parents, my sister, my brother, my extended family, the Goodman family and the Whitaker family. Hi.
They must be so immensely proud of you to look onto the screen and see their little girl. They're one of them watching, you know, doing so well. You're doing very, very well there in the United States as well, you know. Dr. Alana Whitaker, our immense pleasure meeting you this morning. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on to talk to us a little bit about your life as a Bajan Afar. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and Merry Christmas, everybody in Barbados.
Thank you too, and you're all the best. There she goes, that Bajan Afar, Dr. Alana Whitaker. Her parents are smiling this morning. They're going to call her in just a minute to say to her, we saw you. That's great. We love to connect Bajan there and Bajan here. We're coming right back after this to celebrate even further with the parish of St. Lucie.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I know this one is going to make our young viewer who yesterday called to say she notices a change in my face whenever I speak of St. Lucie. She's going to look and say, you see what I want to look at his face now. So it's time for us to celebrate this morning with the outstanding people of the parish of St. Lucie. This morning we're meeting again with the outstanding parish ambassadors in Dana Broom and Shaquille Griffith and the winner of Attendant of the Year, Pedro Cumberbatch. Good morning, three of you.
Good morning, Pearson.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was on Saturday night, sometime after 9 o'clock. Who was watching time? When the big announcements were made. And Pedro, you were the first to be recognized as the Attendant of the Year. Tell me how it felt when you sat where you sat at Frank Culmore Hall and waited for that announcement. What was going through you?
It was, I felt good for my parish, of course. It was a wonderful feeling to work hard and see the good result. So I must say kudos to St. Lucie people. Thank you so much for your support. That's important. I just felt awesome, but yet humbled at the same time.
Boy, to be announced as Attendant of the Year, that was
Yeah.
really fantastic. I remember the response in the auditorium alone, and I can well imagine the response across the world as so many eyes were on us at that announcement. So now, having been recognized as Attendant of the Year, what's next?
We are under the care of Community Independence Celebrations. We will see what plans they have for us for next year. Training sessions, preparing for whatever we have to do, whether it can be an overseas assignment or not, or just here in Barbados doing online sessions across the world. So we just wait patiently and see what happens. But we do our best to represent St. Lucie and, of course, Barbados.
You know, Pedro, you've been in this for years. I mean, you started with black. I know, like me, you got the gray. So these are decades that you've been in this.
It's white. It's white.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling, my brother. So here it is. In this year, you are still with the program. What is it that keeps you connected to this program and representing St. Lucie as a member of the Parish Independence Committee?
Honestly, love of parish and country, because I recall when I first watched the program at the gymnasium years ago in 1999. It was, yes. I saw my parish not placing, not doing anything well. So I said, you know what? I can do this. I can make a difference in my community. I joined the program, and from then on, you started giving back, and you developed and you grow in the program, and you see your skills that you didn't know you have before. And that's what keep me going, for love of parish and seeing young persons every year excel, develop, and grow in this program. And that is an awesome feeling to see young persons develop in this program.
One of my younger colleagues this morning asked me, is this the first time? I said, are you kidding me? Where have you been?
No way.
St. Lucie has been multiple times. And so, this morning we're basking in that reality as well. So there it is, Dana and Shaquille, you are a part now of a legacy. How did it feel for both of you? I'll start with you, Dana, to hear your name announced, or the parish announced as having the most outstanding parish ambassadors. What went through you?
Honestly, good everyone, firstly. Honestly, I cannot begin to explain exactly how I felt, Pearson. I was there sitting and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope my parish gets it. And then when you say, so now for the most outstanding ambassadors, St. Lucie, I'm like, oh my gosh, he said it. So first I had to come to grips with the fact that you actually said it.
Yes.
And then there was the overwhelming, like, yes, my parish can. He brought it home. So that was, I still can't explain. So I hope that explains it for you.
I understand.
I felt.
I understand.
But I was ecstatic, and just to hear St. Lucie at that point in time meant so much to me.
Really? What did it mean? What did it mean to you to hear the name St. Lucie?
Well, throughout my journey, along with the ups and the downs, I honestly, on so many different occasions, just said, you know what? Even although I don't feel like pushing at this point in time, it's not about me, it's about St. Lucie. I want St. Lucie to be the parish that is announced when they say most outstanding, when they say attendant of the year. So on many occasions, I took myself out of it and I did it only for my parish. And even coming up to the Spirit of the Nation show, that was the mindset. It is for my parish at this point in time. There's nothing else I can do personally. It is just for my parish. So then to hear that all the sacrifices and the time that we had to put in paid off, and my parish did indeed bring it home, that was it for me. Honestly, that was it for me.
You are giving me goosebumps for my parish, for my parish. That means so much even to this St. Lucie boy too. So I'm so immensely proud of that. And you, Shaki, you were so calm. I don't know how you were able to stay so composed when you heard the announcement. What went through you? What was the electricity like for you when you heard St. Lucie? What was that like?
So the thing about it, the calm that you saw, that was just a front. But on the inside, I was so overjoyed and speechless and did not know what to do with myself at the present moment. But it was an amazing feeling, an incredible journey along the way. And as my partner said, our attendant preached to us that it's not about us, it's about the parish and about the country. So that kept us with the full drive to keep going, and it bear fruit in the end.
So now that you are the most outstanding parish ambassadors for this island, really at the end of the day, you are representing Barbados. And so there's a lot more, I'm sure, that you'd like to be able to do, Shaquille. What is it that you think the parish now needs you, Shaquille, to be able to do so that the parish becomes better?
Well, I think the best way to go about this would be to confront the residents, definitely, because they know best what is needed to improve the parish. They know what they need. So we've been working with the residents throughout the whole year, and I think continuing to do that, we'll be able to maximize our efforts and be the most effective as possible.
Look at that. Comments are coming through. Fiona, you guys should know Fiona Griffith. She says, my people, so
Yes.
proud of our ambassadors and attendant. I'm getting goosebumps all over St. Lucie. I come from. And I'm sure this morning, that's the way people of St. Lucie feel, you know, to know that oftentimes, you know, they have a perception of us. And it's so warming to know that we can tell them you are wrong. Look at who we are. Take another look. And you see excellence comes from St. Lucie as well. So, Dana, when you sat there in the audience and, you know, because part of it was live, part was virtual, so you saw yourself on screen doing what you did, I'm sure at some point you sat and you thought to yourself, am I doing well enough? Look at this person's also doing quite well too. What did you think?
To be more on point, I watched our performances and I said to myself, okay, that was all right, but so was other parishes. And then, especially when you were up there and you were calling St. Michael for almost every award.
Yes.
And I'm like, so St. Michael won that, and they won that, and they won that. So, did we not? Because, I mean, yes, we're all winners, but in all, everyone wants to bring down their parish.
Mm-hmm.
When you were there and calling, then I was performance, and I'm a very hard self. I'm a self-critic.
Mm-hmm.
So persons may be saying, "Okay, good, she did," and I'm like, "But good, I could have done her." So, and I was like, "Okay, public speaking, okay, from over here, we could have there, but we got." So, sitting there, watch being in front of you, and you go like, things could know, but then at the end of the day, when you realize, well, public speaking wasn't that bad after all, because we won.
Yes.
And then to be and I go, oh my goodness, yeah. So we were good. We did all right.
Sometimes one can be one's harshest critic. But Pedro, St. Lucie not just won the public speaking, you also placed in the talent as well as segments.
Yes.
So talk to me about, give us overall the awards that St. Lucie won on that night, if you can recall.
Yes, I can recall. Sobers, congrats, she placed third in parish talent. Beautiful singing, beautiful singing. Yes, awesome. And we won the Entrepreneurship Award for the first time it was given for the parish project. We came second in the parish project as well. Of course, also standing parish ambassadors and attendant of the year. And best public speaking by the parish ambassadors. We've done that this year for sure for St. Lucie.
They said that you preached a lot at them, Pedro.
Yes.
So talk to me about drilling, the confidence drilling in the different things that needed to be done to be successful. What did you do?
First of all, I had two young persons that were different, first thing, yes? Acknowledging that they were different backgrounds, upbringing, etc. That was important. And it was to get them to develop holistically, not for the program only, but for themselves in the future, right? Because these skills are life skills. And, you know, the time management, I mean, honestly, was really not good at all. We had a picture on that. So guys, come on, let's go. You know, time is a factor. Let's go. Everything about time, because it shows being professional.
Yes.
Therefore, that was important. And keep being humble through the program, because always it's not about us, it's about our parish. And we want best, and whatever the results are, that's it. And we see the sweetness at the end of all of the 2 years, actually. We see the wonderful rewards.
Indeed. Shaquille, I'm sure there's a part of you that says, I wish I could do this again. Isn't there?
Yes, definitely. The program, although it started with some challenges, the overall program was a good experience, and I definitely can see the improvements that came from the program. So given the opportunity, I would definitely jump right in and do it all over.
I love it. I would jump right in and do it all over. But you know, you got a chance to dress up. You had some suits made. You had a chance to wear some fine clothing. That must have meant a lot to you too, right, Shaquille?
Yes, definitely. That was an interesting part of the program. Well, I never was into any pageants or anything before. So that was a great experience. The idea of the hectic nature of having to get in, get out, that was a good experience as well.
And Dana, the opportunity yourself to get in, put on, as we said, your glad rags, to look your best. How was that for you?
I honestly took part in pageants before. I was first runner-up at my school pageant, the Darrell Jordan pageant.
Yes.
And then I also took part in Barbados Talented Things. So I am quite immune, but I do love the adrenaline.
All right. And here we are looking at some images. Shaquille, there you are on the screen. And there you are, Dana, both of you, looking stunning. Was I the one who did the talking up of your description? Was I the one?
Yes, please.
Oh, it was me. I
Yes,
can't recall.
yes,
I did so many things. I don't recall. But again, looking absolutely stunning in your pieces. Who was it that designed those pieces?
Sharon.
Sharon Hines.
Sharon Hines.
From down in Husband, St. Lucie.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Sharon. Yeah, awesome.
This is great because I'm so happy that today we can talk about our parish, the parish of St. Lucie,
Yes.
to demystify the nonsense that people over time have put into their own consciousness and let them know we have excellence coming from the parish of St. Lucie. I hope you get a chance to visit Hope Road. You know, that's where I'm from. You know, to
Yes, we did.
let us celebrate with you as well. And I really want to wish all of you, each of you, the very best going forward. I know there's still a little bit of work to be done. I hope the parish project continues because it's going to redound to the benefit of everyone who resides in St. Lucie. And I want to encourage all of Barbados to come over and see and experience what St. Lucie is all about. Everyone says once you enter the parish of St. Lucie, you immediately get the fresh air, real fresh air. There's a totally different feeling. It's the best feeling in the world. So congratulations, Shaquille and Dana and Pedro, the outstanding parish ambassadors and attendant of the year from the beautiful parish of St. Lucie. I wish you only the best going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Whew. Yes, relax face. We're going to take a break here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So it's a minute and a half after 7 o'clock. It's time for us to get an update on the news. Here once again is Wendy Burke.
Barbados has recorded 106 new COVID-19 positive cases. This after the Los Santos Public Health Laboratory conducted 1,218 tests on Monday. 47 were men and 59 women. The new cases included 14 people who were under the age of 18. Officials say people in isolation facilities numbered 303, while 2,084 are in home isolation. Under the national COVID-19 vaccination campaign, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,081. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated is 138,416. Agriculture Minister Indar Weir believes Barbados has a problem with credit cards, and he wants to see measures taken to address their uncontrolled fees and interest rates. He made the point during his contribution to yesterday's debate of the Fair Credit Report Bill.
And whenever you have customers being penalized the way they're being penalized with late payment fees, they are carrying the cost of the bank's or financial institution risk. And Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that the time has come where credit cards should be reviewed, the use of credit cards, the entire mechanism, the structure needs reviewing.
Concerns about many people being unable to adequately plan for retirement has led to a resolution within the Barbados Association for Retired Persons lowering its joining age. President Marilyn Rice-Bowen told Morning Report that they changed the Constitution on Monday to allow individuals to join from 40 years instead of 50 because when many join at 50 plus, they're not financially prepared.
Our experience has been that when persons join BARC at 50, sometimes 50 plus, they seek assistance with retirement planning. And at that stage of their lives, it's usually too late to commence a retirement plan. If there's one in place that needs to be enhanced, we could offer them the advice, where to go to get the advice. However, it's usually too late. And if we are serious about ensuring that our seniors can live comfortable lives at retirement, comfortable financial lives at their retirement, so therefore it was necessary to lower the age, thus allowing the 40-year-olds to access the retirement tools that they would need to thus ensuring that at their retirement, which could be 27, maybe 28 years away, that they would be in a sound financial position.
Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of Health, Terence Dayal Singh, says he's noticed a slight plateau in the number of COVID-19 cases at the intensive care unit. During the COVID-19 health update, Minister Dayal Singh said the ministry has decided to expand its step-down facilities to transition patients from the high dependency and intensive care units.
We had initially 188 beds. Over the next, and we have started to increase it. It is going to be increased by an additional 154. So we are going to take our step-down facilities up to 342 from 188.
Minister Dayal Singh said the step-down facilities also provide some level of oxygen support, adding that 115 additional oxygen concentrators will be distributed among the 5 regional health authorities.
Eastern RHA got 20. North Central got an additional 15, but they already had a lot of capacity. Northwest got an additional 15. Southwest got 35, and Tobago got 30.
There are more travel restrictions being announced in the United Kingdom in response to the new Omicron variant.
People travelling there will need to show a negative test result within 48 hours before their flight. Now, the UK government has already banned travel to and from several countries in southern Africa. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has told his cabinet the Omicron variant appears to be more transmissible than Delta. Andrew Simmons has more from London's Gatwick Airport.
The restrictions on travel have been met with a sort of mood of reluctant acceptance by many. 2 days, within 2 days, compulsory COVID tests to come into the country, and also a COVID test within 2 days of leaving the country. So this is an acceptance, as I say. Nigeria, a West African state, has been added to the red list on the travel ban, which already includes 10 other states. They're in southern Africa. There's a lot of controversy about Nigeria having this restriction placed upon it. But really, the issue that's on people's minds more than anything else is the level of the restrictions in the UK. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, said at Tuesday's cabinet meeting that early indications are that Omicron variant is more transmissible than the Delta variant. Now, that may not be massively new, but the real concerns are whether this Omicron variant will cause some evasion on immunity, and also whether or not it's more dangerous, whether it will make people even more sick than they would be anyway with COVID-19. And the infection rate is of great concern. Our latest estimate suggests that it's doubling every 3 days.
And that's it for news this morning on Morning Report. I now turn you over to Thrasius, who will be there for Morning Barbados.
Tallulah Theodora, thank you so much indeed. It's now 8.5 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're taking a break here. When we come back, the crumbs question of the day for you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So 9.5 minutes now after 7 o'clock. Don't forget, we give you 2 chances to win in our Christmas promotions this morning. But let's get going with another chance now for you to win with crumbs. In the Crumbs Bakery question of the day, it's going to be a riddle. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The riddle is, this gets filled with water, but it is not a jug or jar. It's in all kitchens, but at the bottom there's a plug. What am I? Want me to say it again? No problem. This gets filled with water, but it is not a jar or jug. It's all in the kitchen, but at the bottom there's a plug. What am I? Let's see if you know. Good morning to you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Pearson. How are you?
Buddy, I'm well. How you doing?
Why are you trying to tangle up my head on my bird?
I wouldn't do that. You know I wouldn't do that to my friends. I wouldn't do it. I just want to confuse you a little bit.
Repeat it again.
So,
Let me see if I get.
yeah, let me see if you can get this right this morning. So what's your answer?
No, I tell you, repeat it again for me.
The question is, this gets filled with water, but it is not a jar or jug. It is in all kitchens, but at the bottom there is a plug. What am I?
It will be a kettle.
I know you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. And if you say that, I knew I was going to say you're wrong.
Huh?
You're wrong.
Oh, you're talking about a kettle. All right.
Good try, though. Good try. Good try. Thanks a lot, my friend. Thank you. I knew he was going to say it. And I had already had my answer worked up for him. So, call me now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. This gets filled with water. But it's not a jar nor a jug. It's in all kitchens. But at the bottom there's a plug. What am I? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome. What's your first name?
Rose,
Hello to you, Rose. What parish are you watching from?
Christchurch.
Okay. Rose, make it sound as if I know you. Do I know you, Rose?
Yes, you do.
I know Rose. Wait, is this Rose from down the hill?
No, please.
Oh, you're not that Rose?
Not that
All
Rose.
right. Yes, Rose. Let me hear your answer, please.
It's a sink.
Don't ask me questions. What's your answer,
No,
Rose?
I'm telling you, it's
Oh,
a
you are?
sink. It wasn't a
Oh.
question.
So break it down for me. This gets filled with water. You think it's a sink. It's not a jar or jug. You think it's a sink.
Yes,
it's in all kitchens. And you think it's a sink, but at the bottom there's a plug, and you still think it's a sink.
Yes, please.
You really do?
Yes.
Rose, have you looked around your kitchen to figure this out?
No, I just
And you
think
still-
you're washing up the rears. You might plug one side and
Your plug is at the bottom?
yes,
You sure?
yes.
There's nothing else in your kitchen that you would use to fill with water?
No.
What kind of kitchen you have, Rose?
I forgot to show you.
I would really have to see. But you're absolutely right, Rose. I wanted to tease you, Rose. You're absolutely right. It's a sink. Well done. Well done indeed. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You stay on the phone. We'll take some more details from you, all right?
Yes, please.
Good. There she goes. That's Rose. She correctly said it's a sink. So she's answered today's Crumbs Bakery question of the day. We'll have another question for you tomorrow, should it be God's will. Taking a break. When we come back, we hear more about Amaze and the big anniversary sale.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 minutes after 7 o'clock now. If you live on this rock, you know every December there's going to be an anniversary sale by Amaze, and you know that's the one time when you get bargains galore. It's not an everyday experience. It is an everyday experience, but this time, even more bargains. Joining us to talk about what else we can expect in this year's anniversary celebrations is Ryan Boyce, who is the marketing representative for Amaze. Ryan, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Pearson. Thank you for having us all.
You're welcome, my friend.
I'm very excited already.
Yeah, amaze us this morning, Ryan. What can we expect?
Oh my, yes. This morning I'm ready to let persons know that it's our 11th anniversary celebration and customer appreciation. And like we say, we want to invite the entire world here at Amaze, just over there in Christchurch, just on Oistins. And the 11th anniversary has with it some fantastic stuff going on. We're going to have a 20% store-wide discount. That's when the sale starts on the 17th of December. Mark your calendars. Already we've been seeing persons coming through and checking out what we have in store so that they can say, yes, I need that. Yes, I want that. We want to have a bit of that. We will have, like any birthday party, we'll have some food, we have some breakfast, we have some meals and delicacies, snow cones, Kool-Aids, fruit, lollies, lactose-free ice cream, please, lactose-free ice cream, and it's cholesterol and also gluten-free. Fruits and vegetables as well for those persons who are also in need. We'll have a few hampers there for them. But more importantly, come through to the store and we have some products. For example, this VIF10, as you can see here on the screen,
Yes.
VIF10 helps roots out that virus that's going around the place. Persons who have used it, they've come true, and I'm telling you this here, Pearson, I'm telling you this.
As a secret, talk to me.
Persons who have used, yes, I'm telling VIF10, they have used it, and it lick up that virus that they had inside their bodies, okay?
Do you mind if I share that news with anybody else?
If you share that, they have to come to Amaze to find out for themselves.
No problem.
Okay? And we're also encouraging persons to visit our website, www.amaze.com, and we want you to also go in the event sections, watch the videos. We have all the entertainment there. We have worship dancers, Keon Walters. Hey Pearson, you still sing, don't you? Maybe one of these times you come through and sing us a little Christmas carol for the Amaze. Yeah?
I'm a part of a chorus. I'm not a main singer. So but you know, Ryan, what I like about the whole thing is the celebrations start on December the 17th. And then you run for a few days thereafter going on. But the discount reduces. If you want the maximum discount, you go on the 17th. And then thereafter, there's a little reduction.
Hey, you tell know all our secrets.
Sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it starts on the 17th, and that's a 20% discount. Be sure to get there early, 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going till 8 p.m. on the 17th. And then thereafter, until December the 31st, the discount goes down to 10%. All right? 10%. Now, just to make sure everybody is comfortable, everyone is comfortable, we will be following the protocols. We have been doing that for years, even prior to them being included. We made sure that only a select number of persons came through to the store, made sure that persons were sanitizing, there's an industrial sanitizer that will constantly be refilled. We'll have persons going through the audience, going through the crowd. It's an outdoor event. There's no need for you to cluster or anything of the sort. We'll also be taking your blood pressure check and your cholesterol checks and those sorts of things, your sugar checks and that sort of thing as well. And we want to let persons know, right, that it is a safe space, okay? So if you are coming with the children, here's what to do. You stand up in a line getting ready to come into the store, and you let the children go across and listen to the steel pan and listen to the watch the dancers, maybe also look at the 18-foot dancing man, and they could get a little few little treats and treats and that sort of thing as well. While you are in the line for this store, we only have a certain amount of persons in. You will be sanitized as you go in. We have the industrial sanitizer all throughout, and we want to let persons know, hey, I have something here to make sure that even our staff, and I'm going to show you quickly, our staff, we have our very own Amaze mask.
Face mask, wonderful.
Line. Okay, and it has all the details. Okay, so you are sure to find out that we are following protocol, and it's an exciting event. Come in and enjoy a birthday with us, please. Come on, we're looking for you. 9 a.m. on Friday, December 17th, and you know what? We start with a word of prayer. We always give thanks. Always give thanks. You know, absolutely. But call us now. Well, call us now at 9 o'clock. 420-7809.
What I also love about what you guys do there at Amaze as well, even though I mean, there's such a crowd of people, but the line moves, but everybody behaves themselves. So though you see them there, don't panic. It's a very safe environment from a security point of view, but it's also going to be even safer because we want you to follow all of the protocols, and when you do so, everybody's happier at the end of it all. But you will get the experience of going into the store to find the product you're looking for, because if I know you guys at Amaze, you stock up adequately so that everyone gets what they're looking for.
That's correct. We do. And for those persons who still visit us, we do have the arginine. Yes, we do have it. We've ordered such like. We also have toys. We also have household items, things, you know, 1 or 2 things you may want to pick up so that you can still have a little bit of a Christmas sort of thing. Yes, we have those. Persons who have a little bit of memory issues, we have those products for those. And look, my hair is still growing. I want to make sure everybody know that my hair, because I'm saying to amaze you, we will sure to amaze you. But pick it up on the 17th where you get that special discount as well. And you know, if you know someone who is in need, please let us know. We know things have been challenging. We know that persons may want a little bit of a breakfast items, fruits and vegetables. If you have someone that is genuinely in need, please let us know as well. But come through and look for us at the store. Please, we're looking for you.
We're going to be looking for you all. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us this morning. And just a teaser, because there's much more to be sharing with you over the coming times as we lead up to the 17th, ladies and gentlemen, for that big anniversary sale. The 11th anniversary starts at 9 o'clock on the 17th, and it runs till 8 o'clock on the night, and then until the 31st thereafter. But on the 17th, there's a 20% discount in store. Great reason for you to check it out today. Thank you, Ryan. my friend Ryan Boyce, who is the marketing representative for Amaze, reminding you to go to the website at amaze.com and you can see more about what's in store at Amaze and make your plan to be there early. We're going to take a break right here, and when we come back, our smiling girl, Joan Underwood, will join us as we continue to delve into our manager's first aid kit. Get your book ready. We're coming back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for us to delve into our manager's first aid kit, and I know you're asking yourself, well, why? Because it is such an essential thing. For a lot of people who have just moved into the position of management or supervisory responsibilities, it is a daunting position to be in unless you've had some practice. But there's a book that can help you manage yourself, manage others, and manage processes and procedures. And so this is where we meet up with Joan Underwood. At the beginning, we wanted to start managing self, and that was so critical to the start. Joan, good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well, Pearson, and everyone who's joining us, and greetings from Antigua and Barbuda.
Show off, you're right. From beautiful Antigua and Barbuda, where the beach is just the beginning. See, just I know it. I know the slogan. So here it is now, Joe. We're back into the book. We've just completed part 2 last week with you, and we looked then at managing self. And there's so many areas one has to get oneself ready for the job ahead. In some instances, it's a difficult job, but in some instances, it's also quite a rewarding responsibility one takes on when one moves into management or supervisory skills. So now, we're dealing with people. That's where we're going to now. And as we're talking about managing others, we're talking firstly still about managing self and recognizing that in managing people, you have to recognize how they view you. And one of the first things that they will want to do is figure out, do I trust you? You've been thrust upon me, do I trust you?
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the ironies about leadership, about management, because leadership is an essential component of management, is that while it's not about you, it is about you, because depending on how you show up, as you said, people are going to make decisions based on your actions, how you show up. And so it's really important that even as you focus on leading others, that you have that self-awareness. Remember where we started out? That's why the book is structured that way. So self-awareness, as Aristotle said, is the beginning of wisdom. Doesn't guarantee you wisdom, but you're certainly not going to be wise unless you're self-aware.
so true.
Trust. I mean, trust got its very own chapter because it's so important it's so fundamental, because at the end of the day, leadership is about getting things done with and through others. And there are a couple of ways you can try to do that. You can try to do it through a command and control, where you simply issue directives and expect people to just, line up like good soldiers and march to your beat. That works in certain organizations, but for the most part, people have free will. And so what you want is not just compliance, but what you want is commitment. And commitment flows from trust. No one is going to be committed to you or to following your leadership if they don't trust you. If they don't trust you, you may get compliance, but you won't get commitment. And having had both, I guarantee you that commitment is what you want to aim for.
Yeah. In the book, you also broke it down, the components of trust. And I think I'd like to go through them so that everyone understands how those building blocks lead to that commitment, a level of commitment we've been talking about. And you started at the bottom and you said competence. And you're quite right. The first judgment call that a lot of our staff would make is, are you really as competent as they think you are or as they say you are? And so your competence will be called into question. And so you have to find a way to start building the trust through addressing your competence.
Absolutely. We have to show up as being competent, that we have the knowledge, the skills, and the ability to get the job done. If people have questions about that, they're going to be reluctant just to, follow our, guidance, etc. But if they look at you and they say, hey man, Pearson knows what he's doing, I trust him to get the job done.
Yeah, and that's not the time for you to show off, or as we say here, pomp a set, because you're competent, because you're still building a relationship. And then the next step is character. If one thinks your character is such as that you're a big show off, they want nothing to do with you. So that trust pattern's gone through the door again.
Exactly. Which is why I say all of the components of trust are important. So people, there are people that we all know who are very knowledgeable. They're so smart. They're so bright. But I tell you, character is another story altogether.
Yes.
So either they don't have a moral compass, or it broke a long time ago, no integrity. So it's not either or. You need to show up as being competent, but you also need to show up as being of good character. Because if you don't, again, people will withhold their trust.
Yes. And here it is, because a lot of times people are promoted through organizations, and at the lower levels you get to see them as they are. And suddenly they move into a different position, and as if the slate was wiped clean. It doesn't quite happen that way. So how does one adjust one's character so that we get it right and almost ask them to forget the past, so to speak?
Well, I tell you, that is perhaps the most difficult gap to fill. Because if people have a trust deficit with you because they have concerns of your character, getting a new title is not going to change that. Getting a bigger office is not going to change that. And, there's no guarantee that you can erase whatever concerns they had about your character in the past. But I tell you what, it's something you need to work at every single day. And here's where hope and prayer may be part of your strategy. Because you have to, in addition to consistently showing up as being honest, as having integrity, people still have the choice whether or not they're going to say, okay, that what happened in the past is water under the bridge. I'm going to give you a new opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee, because it depends on how egregious the past breaches were, whether or not people will choose to overlook what happened in the past and say, okay, I do see a change. I do see a new and improved version. I do trust this version of you.
It takes time. It takes time. Benevolence, you say in the book, you said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's such a powerful statement.
It is. And I remember an older person telling me that, and this was when I had just come back with my first master's degree, and I thought, I was like, oh yeah, the world is lucky to have me. And, fortunately, that person had a conversation with me that caused me to, reconsider how I approach things, because they were like, you know, you don't have to prove to anybody you're bright. We get that. What you need to show is that you care about people. And I tell you,
it's important. One of our social media people, if you can see there on your screen, is saying, "Thank you, Joan, for all this great advice you're sharing with us. It's very helpful." And so people are benefiting.
Welcome, Patricia. Patricia Ben. Hi, Patricia. Boy, this is someone from my past.
Really?
Yes, well, if it's the same Patricia Ben I'm thinking of, she used to run the University of the West Indies extramural campus here in Antigua. That's how old it is, extramural campus.
It's a small world, small world. So benevolence is critical. So they don't care how much you know until you show how much you care. And that requires you to take time, again, taking time to show that you care, taking time and interest in what's happening with the people who you're responsible for managing, so that they buy in, and that trust is begun to be built. That's important. You were saying?
Yeah, I want to just amplify something that you said in terms of showing interest in your people. You know, way back when management, you know, first became a discipline of science, they used to look at people as units of production.
Yes, yes.
People are so much more than that. If you do not make the effort to invest the time to get to know your people as human beings, not as units of production, you will never, never leverage that commitment, that trust, that discretionary effort. You'll get compliance, not commitment.
You heard that, people? She said never twice, so you know how serious that is. You will never, never. So, folks, show an interest. Don't take them for granted. They're not simply units of production. We are people with lives and experiences and hearts that beat. And we'd like to know you care. And so that's important that you share that too with the people for whom you have responsibility. But then the fourth ladder on this rebuilding of trust is consistency. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Because if you showed it to me today, I liked it. And then tomorrow, you brought me something else completely different.
Yes.
Problems.
Exactly. And authenticity is so important, because listen, people are going to see right through you if it's just a front that you're putting up that, listen, I need something from you, so I'm going to be very benevolent towards you today. Yesterday I wasn't, tomorrow I won't be, but today I am, because I need you to deliver something for me today. People see right through that and they become resentful of it, and that's not a foundation for building trust. Now, I refer to consistency as a meta competency. And I was using Meta before Facebook decided they were going there, right? So what do I mean by a meta competency? It means that it overarches everything else. So you need to be consistently competent. You need to be consistently of good character, and you need to be consistently benevolent for people to truly trust you.
You know, one of the principles when I was in banking that we taught was, you know, it takes 12 consecutive good experiences to erase one bad experience. That is a measurement of time, but it's a measurement of consistency as well, in the promise that you will deliver better service. And so I think that is important too when we're doing management, that we need to recognize people are going to be assessing us, they're going to be judging us, but in order to turn that behavior around, it's going to take time, but it's going to require you to be consistently delivering on the promise that you would have made, and that's so important. You talked about overcoming that trust deficit in many ways as well, and I like that, because you talked about continual development. If you're looking at your ability to do the job, you've got to continue to develop one's skill sets as well.
Indeed. So the thing is, how it typically works, you get promoted to a managerial position because you excelled in your former position as a technical worker, as a knowledge worker. The competencies are different though, as that you require to be successful as a manager. So you have to retool, you have to reskill. Not saying abandon your technical proficiency, but there are a whole new array of skills that you need to acquire. And, you know, continuous learning, the day that you stop learning, well, I say for myself, the day I stop learning, hopefully that will be the day that I close my eyes for the last time. Because my goal is to learn something every day. Because there's just so much that's out there. And you can learn from every single interaction with anyone, right? So make the commitment. And when your people see that you've made that commitment, it encourages them, it inspires them to do the same so that you're able together to level up.
So how do I then, on a day when I didn't do as well as I ought to have, because we will have those days, while we're consistently performing, there are days when something happens and we're not off the track. How do we fix it so that we don't lose trust?
Great question. And vulnerability and trust is kind of a chicken and an egg situation, because you may say, I'm not going to be vulnerable with so-and-so because I don't trust them. But the thing is, if you are willing to be vulnerable, that can build trust.
Yes.
Because it shows that you're honest, that you're open. So whenever I am leading a team, one of the first things that I let them know, listen, here is where I need your support most, because this is a developmental area for me. And if I'm building a team, if I have the opportunity to build a team from scratch, I always look for people with complementary skills, because there's certain things that I know from get-go, okay, John, that's not your forte, but the team needs it. So I deliberately, if I have the opportunity to do the hiring, I look for people who can complement and supplement what I bring to the table, so that those whom we serve get the benefit from the full array of knowledge, skills, competencies, and traits.
Recognition is also going to be important. It's all well and good to say I'm going to compliment and supplement, but if you don't at least show the appreciation for what I'm doing to assist you, I'm going to step back. I say, you really are as competent as you profess to be. So there are a whole host of factors that we're building up here, folks. And I hope that everybody today reaches out to get a copy of the book. And in reading, don't just read the words because they make sense. Read the words and take some time to let them dwell for just a moment, as I do, as I read them too. And in dwelling, then it triggers a whole host of things that either you're doing right or you're doing wrong or you need to do better at. And certainly, this book is a really great guide. Joan, as always, thank you for the uplifting engagement, and I want to encourage everyone to get a copy yourself. Days Bookstore has them, so head out to Days Bookstore and you can get a copy of this book as well, Manager's First Aid Kit. Many things that we can learn from this, or you can go online to utdsinc.com. You can go onto Amazon and get your copy there as well. She ain't here, but you can still drop a note to Joan, and Joan can make arrangements for you as well to get a copy of the book. Joan, as always, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you come back here soon, because we love having you on this island as well. But enjoy yourself while you're there in your homeland of Antigua.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
See you
my
next
friend.
week.
See you next week. Joan Underwood, great session indeed. Get the book. A break right here, and when we come back, a chance for you to answer your phone. So turn it on now. Let's come back to do that.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Saw that? If you're watching, now you know what we're going to do. Time for you to answer your phone. Time for me to make our first call of 2 today in our Christmas promotion. Let's see if you answer correctly. Answer it right. Don't just look at the phone and try to figure out who's calling you. Just answer the phone, answer it correctly, and you could be a winner this morning. This morning alone, you could be a winner. We're making 2 calls today, so look out for this opportunity. Let's see if we get someone on the phone. Dial tone in my ear. Let's go. Miss Fat Fingers, dial the numbers. She's going to beat me so badly when I'm done here. So let's see. Let us see.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. The incoming calls are restricted. Told you, check it out. Put some credit on your phone. If you've given us your cell number to call, that's not our fault. You have given us your cell number to call. Expect a call. So do all that you need to do to ensure that when that call is made, that call goes through. Okay? Hint and word to the wise. Let's see if this person answers. Answer your phone. Answer your phone.
What are you going to give me for Christmas?
I beg your pardon?
What are you going to give me for Christmas?
Nothing. Why you asking me that question?
Because I need to get something.
And what I got to do with me? What are you laughing at? You're going to make me laugh. What are you laughing at? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am good.
You have any idea who calling you?
No, I don't.
I am calling from Massey Supermarkets.
Oh, okay.
You placed an order since last year and I didn't get a chance to deliver it till now. Still want it?
What's that?
Why did you answer the phone the way you answer the phone?
Because there's a competition I enter. So I want to win something.
And that's the way you have to answer the phone?
Yes, please.
I could enter too?
Pardon?
Can I enter as well?
I am not sure. Because you
Why?
had to send in the application. You had to send in from last month, I think.
So I'm late?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your first name?
Sonia.
Oh, Sonia, it is not you. Sorry, made a wrong call. But Sonia? This is Pearson Boy and I'm calling from CBC.
Oh.
Yes. So what are you going to give me for Christmas?
A Merry Christmas.
So you're being selfish, but you're a winner this morning with us indeed. Sonia, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You had me.
I know. Is this the way you answer your phone all the time now?
No. Just since I enter the competition.
Just right. That's what I meant.
Yes.
Since the competition started, have you been answering every call this way?
Not really, Because
So why you answer this
some people would come up. My friends, their names and stuff would come up.
Oh. So what came up this time?
This was a strange number, so I said, look, let me take a chance and do that.
Smart girl, Sonia. You well done. You have won, Sonia, a wonderful basket of wonderful items, compliments of Supreme Distributors, and a whole host of things in there. Sonia, congratulations. Yes. Someone from our marketing department will call you and make arrangements for your collecting of that item, okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Pearson.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Sonia. You're welcome indeed. Merry Christmas to you.
And you have a great day as well. And Merry Christmas to you. And
Thank you so
family.
much. You too.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right, bye.
Sonia, she's too sweet. You too. All right, we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're meeting up with our obstetrician gynecologist right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There are 13 minutes to go now to the hour of 8 o'clock this morning as we head into the doctor's office. And we're talking today with Dr. John Barker, our obstetrician gynecologist. Good morning to you, Dr. Barker.
Hi, good morning, Pearson. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good.
If you were not doing well, would you have said so? I got it right. Yeah. So today we're going to be looking at early pregnancy assessment. Where do we start with this?
Right. In terms of early pregnancy assessment, what I'm going to talk about is the early pregnancy assessment unit. And essentially what it is a specialist gynecological service in relation to women who are very early pregnant, complaining of either bleeding or abdominal pain. As you will know, if a patient is early pregnant and is either bleeding or has pain, then they're very anxious and worried in relation to their pregnancy. So this is the importance of early pregnancy assessment, which is done more so overseas in a specialist service called the Early Pregnancy Assessment Unit.
Her first thought is either she's miscarried or there's something much more dangerous happening. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that is the case, is it?
No, essentially when women are early pregnant and either have some pain or bleeding, the majority of the cases the pregnancy goes on. However, in a few cases, yes, there may be miscarrying, or two, it could be where the pregnancy is in the tube, and that is called an ectopic pregnancy. That in itself can be life-threatening in relation to the fact that when the actual pregnancy implants in the tube is just a very small cylinder. So if the pregnancy implants in the tube, what it does is that the tissue which becomes the placenta erodes the tube, and then as a result, you either get bleeding into the tummy, or sometimes it can rupture and bleed profusely.
So what happens in the unit? So she presents because she has these concerns. What happens then?
Right. Essentially, they're seen by ideally by a gynecologist, and essentially what they do is take a comprehensive history, examine, and the main crux of the matter is doing an ultrasound scan. Now, the ultrasound scan which is done is a transvaginal ultrasound, and this has a higher sensitivity than doing it via the abdomen, which is a trans-abdominal scan. Now, once this ultrasound scan is done, there are a very number of outcomes, meaning that A, you can find a pregnancy. Two, sometimes you can find what we call a gestational sac, and then we have to determine if this gestational sac, which is the sac which the baby forms within, is a true sac, meaning that the pregnancy can go on, or if it is a false gestational sac, which is what we call a pseudo sac, where we find this in an ectopic pregnancy, or sometimes you cannot find anything in the uterus. When this happens, it's called a pregnancy of unknown location, and as a result, we know two things. One, you're pregnant, and two, we do not know exactly where the pregnancy is. And there are three really outcomes, meaning that it can be in the womb itself, or it can be outside of the womb, or it can be a failing pregnancy.
You don't know where it is?
Yes.
You know, that raises questions for the layman like me. So when that happens, how do you find where it is?
Right. So this is where the anxiety comes. So usually what I do is tell patients, well, we don't know exactly where the pregnancy is, but what we know is that you are pregnant. So the next step would be doing a blood test, which is called a Quantitative Beta Hcg. Now that's a hormone in pregnancy, and essentially what it should do is double every 48 hours or increase by 66% in the 48 hours. So what we look for is a trend. So every 48 hours when we repeat it, it should increase by at least 66%. And that's how we know that more than likely it is a normal pregnancy. However, sometimes if you're having a miscarriage, instead of the value going up or doubling, right, it will actually decrease. So once it's decreasing, even though we can't see the pregnancy, we know that it is a failing pregnancy, right?
Okay.
On the other hand, sometimes you can do the bloods every 48 hours, and then what we find is that the results plateau, meaning that is a line. Once we see the flat line, then more than likely the diagnosis is an ectopic pregnancy. And the beauty about the early pregnancy assessment unit is that you would diagnose these ectopics at least a week to two earlier than when managed normally, because we actually closely monitoring the actual values. So those would be the outcomes. And then if the patient is suspected to have an ectopic pregnancy, then they go down a different pathway, either medical or surgical management, or sometimes they can do conservative depending on their symptoms, or if the actual value is plateauing and then it's decreasing.
All of this suggests
So
that the mother stays in the unit. She stays there to be monitored, and every 48 hours, is that what happens?
Well, right. So if the patient is asymptomatic, and usually if they don't have any issues, then you can manage them as an outpatient.
Okay.
So, but then you let them know that if they have any pain or dizziness or anything like that, then they should come back into hospital ASAP. But usually it's a standalone service in most of the hospitals, like when I was in care, and essentially it works in cooperation with accident and emergency. So what it does is streamline the service in terms of the patient experience and the time to diagnosis. So they actually go straight to the EPAU, and then we then plan their management from there.
What's the success level, or rates, for want of a better expression, in Barbados from the early pregnancy assessment unit in terms of us being able to intervene earlier and save lives?
Right, and in relation to the evidence, because I can't talk for the hospital here, I can only talk about when I was in UK. It was evidence-based in relation to improving outcomes and actually diagnosing like ectopic pregnancies, etc., much earlier than normal, and in relation to improving outcomes and patient satisfaction. Some, depending on where you go, there is not like a specific service actually set up in relation to a particular service saying, well, this is the early pregnancy assessment unit, this is where you go, but everything is done in tandem in a whole, like on the ward, but it's not actually separated out. So then in terms of further development, once you separate out the services, you then get a better patient experience and better outcomes.
I think it puts a lot of ladies' minds at rest this morning to know that you can have a positive outcome through this early assessment, and it certainly is important that you see it. When signs arise, don't go with the old wives' tales alone. Just go and get it checked. Have it checked. The sooner, the better. Dr. Barker, got to leave it there. But my brother, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Same to you.
Thank you. Dr. John Barker, our obstetrician gynecologist here on Morning Barbados. One more call to make before we go TikTok and wrap it up. So what is that? You stand by to look out for that opportunity. We're calling you right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. I want you to answer your phone when you hear it ring, but answer it correctly. Doesn't matter who's calling you, just answer the phone, and the baby would like you to answer your phone. So stand by for that right now. And let's see if you're a winner today in our Christmas promotion. We had a winner before and she did it right, and we want you to do it right too. So let's see who we get on the phone now for that chance to win with us this morning with the CBC all season long. When you answer your phone the way we like you to answer your phone. And I won't tell you what we want you to say. So there's dial tone. Let's see if we get a first caller on the air. And let's see if we get you with a prize today in our Christmas promotion. Thanks to all of our sponsors. They're right across the bottom of your screen. You can see it for yourself. Let's see, it's ringing. Answer your phone. You know that's what I'm going to say. Answer your phone. Come on, come on, come on. She's probably in the back of the house or something, you know. Answer your phone. This is going to ring to voicemail. I can feel it already.
I'm sorry.
See what I tell you? See what I tell you? I can feel it already. Listen, you may have to walk with your phone on your hip everywhere you go, because we could call you at any given time, at any given time. So all day long, be sure to answer your phone. Let's see if we get a winner now.
But incoming call.
Not that one. That one is blocked as well. Put on credit if you gave us a cell number. That's your fault. That's your fault. You're missing an opportunity when you don't prepare yourself to receive our call. And we will be calling from a landline. So ensure that your cell phone number that you gave to us is properly ready to receive a landline call. Let's see, this one is ringing. Come on, answer your phone. Rush to it. Answer the phone. So, answer your phone, folks. Come on. That person's trying to figure out, whose number is this? I don't know this number, so therefore I'm not answering that number. I could hear it in their head already. Why are you doing that?
You were trying to contact.
No. You're doing this to yourself. You're doing this to yourself. You're missing an opportunity to win in our Christmas promotion, and we have some great prizes for you to win. So we're making a fourth call. This is the fourth one of you for the morning in this segment. And look at that. Look at that. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. So let's see if this one answers the phone. We have a minute to go till 8 o'clock. Answer your phone.
Good morning. What are you going to give me for Christmas?
I beg your pardon, ma'am. Good morning to you. Why?
Good morning.
What are you laughing at?
Good morning, Pearson.
Who are you talking to? Who am I talking to?
This is Rosemary.
Rosemary?
Yeah.
I'm not Pearson.
Oh, okay. Guess you have
thought
a
it was
twin.
Pardon me?
I guess you have a twin.
No, there's only one of
voice.
me. No, trust me, there's only one of me. Other people say it sounded someone else.
Okay, let's start again. Good morning, sir. How can I help you?
Oh, I probably dialed the wrong number.
Okay, no problem.
Rosemary?
Yes, please.
I don't play with you. Let's give it to Rosemary. Rosemary, listen to me carefully. Rosemary, you don't start with good morning. You start with, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Good morning. You understand?
Yes, please.
But because you answered the phone, I'm going to give it to you. Congratulations. What did Rosemary win? So let's tell Rosemary what she's won today. Rosemary, you are going to Soothing Touch, the spa. We have a $100 voucher for you. You have won with Soothing Touch, the spa.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Someone from our marketing department will call you to make arrangements with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Don't forget, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Good morning. Turn around the order. But congratulations, all right.
Very well, thanks.
You're welcome. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Our little crew of Alicia Alves Grant, my producer, Roel Ford, our technical director. We have Michael Sobers at sound and Tamisha Green at master control. We do look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.